Hello! Today we'll bring you with us to watch the Northern Lights, learn about the Sami culture, meet the reindeers, and explore Tromso. From Lofoten, we boarded a Withdraw flight to Bodo for our layover. The plane was small and with no allocated seats, so the first ones in get the good view. I got a window seat and I'm sharing a spectacular view of Lofoten from the top with you. After around 25 minutes, we have landed at Bodo Airport. We picked up our luggages and checked them in for our flight to Tromso. We've set foot in Bodo twice in this trip, both layovers. This is the aerial view of Bodo at nighttime. After almost an hour flight and a short taxi ride, we have arrived at our hotel. Our hotel includes half-board meals, so we had dinner before exploring the city center. We will be staying in Tromso for 2 days and 3 nights with places in mind and tours booked. So after dinner, we headed out to our first itinerary stop, Fjellheisen. Fjellheisen is the cable car that will bring you from Tromsdalen up to Storsteinen, a 421-meter high peak with a panoramic view of Tromso. Departures are every 30 minutes. A journey takes 4 minutes and costs 345 Norwegian kroner per adult return trip, or around 53 New Zealand dollars. The cable car is open from 10 a.m. to 12 midnight every day. Fjellheisen is said to be the best place to see the Northern Lights. Aside from viewing and dining, the other activities offered in Fjellheisen are snowshoe hiking, and paragliding. At the top, there's a shop, a viewing deck, and a restaurant, where we had dessert while waiting for the northern lights. It is now 11 p.m. and we are making our way down to Tromso. Our day two started by heading to the Arctic Cathedral. This church is actually called Tromsdalen Church and serves as the parish church for mainland Tromso. Due to its striking shape and daring architecture, it has become known as Cathedral or the Arctic Cathedral as soon as it opened in 1965. It is situated at the end of the Tromso Bridge and is visible from the Tromso Sound, City Center, Tromso Bridge, and even up the airplane. Concerts are also offered all year round, especially during summer, perfect for viewing the midnight sun right after. Arctic Cathedral has a large east-facing glass mosaic, The Return of Christ, one of the largest and most monumental glass mosaics in Europe. We are now on the way to the Tromso Centre to explore the shops and other attractions in the city. Tromso didn't have an official Christmas market unlike Oslo and Bergen, but they do have these booths and stalls put up around the center. Stargata is the main street and heart of Tromso where these are located. This is the tiniest bar in the universe called Raketen, built way back in 1911. It has earned its name, the Racket, due to the shape of the kiosk. This is Tromso Library, which used to be a cinema built in 1973. In 2004, the cinema was torn down, but the unique roof construction was kept. This is the Tromso Cathedral, the only cathedral in the National Church of Norway built in wood. first activity on day 3 was a Sami cultural experience and reindeer feeding. After sorting all the logistics out, they were rolling at 8 past 10. Once we have arrived, we were divided into groups as some have booked for reindeer sledding. The reindeers were fed prior to the people entering their abode, feeding them to ensure that they are not so hungry and don't get overly excited once people come in. People are briefed on the various ways to feed the reindeers, techniques on carrying the bucket, and reminders on some do's and don'ts. And without further ado, let the reindeer feeding begin. Around 2,600 Sami people in Norway make their living from herding reindeers, and majority of the northern Norway region is used to raise reindeers. Other means of living by Samis aside from reindeer herding are fishing, livestock farming, and hunting. Reindeer husbandry is an important part of Sami identity. Despite Sami now being part of the modern society, they maintain ancient traditions such as yoik, handicrafts, and reindeer husbandry. Some live in traditional settlement areas but earn their living in the modern service sector, industry, travel, and public sector. After reindeer feeding, we'll proceed to this cabin to learn more about the Sami culture. But first, a toilet break. I'll bring you with me. All done, now let's enter the lavu or a Sami herdsman's tent. We're one of the first ones in, taking our time to admire the beautiful architecture and ceiling, plus the awesome window views. We were served hot drinks on this wooden cup called kuksa. Along with some cookies and bread and butter. Later on, we were served with bidos or Sami reindeer stew. Sami people are the indigenous people of Northern Europe and live in 4 countries. Their total population is 80,000 and around half of them live in Norway. During this session, he proudly shared their culture from their means and ways of living to their families, the language, form of government, and their flag. Time check, 1:36 p.m. Boarding the bus back to Tromso Centre. Our last but certainly not the least activity this trip is to chase the Aurora Borealis or the Northern Lights. Truth be told, this is the highlight or main goal of this entire trip. We had a couple of attempts. First attempt was on night 2. We booked a tour for small groups. There were 8 of us plus our tour guide. It was a cloudy night and it didn't look promising for Northern Lights. We were given a choice if we wanted to proceed or not. We decided to try our luck and gave it a go. After driving for almost an hour, we found a spot. Our guide gave us a thermal suit, foot warmer, and headlights. He set up a camp and a fire pit to keep us warm as we wait for Aurora to show up. We were served hot homemade soup, which was absolutely delicious, then later on cookies and tea. In between snacking, we watched the skies and remained vigilant, hoping it would clear out to pave the way for the Northern Lights. It did, but so fast and so faint. Our group, even though we were not able to see the Northern Lights that night, the experience was well worth it and very memorable. As they say, never ever give up, so we booked another tour on the 3rd night. This time, we booked a Northern Lights chase tour to Aurora Camp. This is the Labu or a Sami tent where we stayed in while waiting for the lights to appear. Inside, there were tables and seats, a fire pit where we gathered to warm ourselves up, and where hot beverage and warm stew were served. And after almost an hour of waiting, the first streaks of light has appeared. There were breaks and bursts of lights in a span of 2.5 hours that we were there. Now I'll let you enjoy the spectacular lights and dancing Aurora. Stay tuned for our next stop, Helsinki, Finland. Thank you for watching.